So in the previous session, we have discussed about JavaScript programming, and we have discussed what exactly JavaScript programming and what are the various fundamental building blocks that we have in JavaScript. We have discussed, and we have discussed about the various data types in JavaScript, operators in JavaScript, output statements also in JavaScript, and how to define the variables and all these things we have discussed. And yesterday we have discussed about Visual Studio Code Editor installation and how can we integrate that editor with your Salesforce org, and how can we install the respective extensions, and how to use that editor in order to do the practice of JavaScript. How can we write the business logics inside this editor, and how can we push the code to the Salesforce org, how to pull the code from the Salesforce org, we have discussed. Now, have you done with this, all these things? Install VS Code, working fine? Are you able to connect with your Salesforce org? No. Why? Just you have to reinstall. Okay. Done? No. You are also not yet done. Last minute. Working fine? No. Working. Okay, fine. Live server also have you tried? Okay. Now, just we can reinstall that. It will work as it is. Now, so now today we'll see how can we do the practice of JavaScript programming by using this VS Code editor. And yesterday I showed you the step-by-step approach. How can we create our own HTML file? How to create the JavaScript file? And how can we run that code? And then how can we see the result inside the browser log file we have discussed. I'm going to the browser. Now, so now today we'll see how can we implement the features by using this JavaScript. We'll see one by one. Today we are going to discuss about the fundamental concepts of JavaScript. How can we define the variables? How can we write the piece of code? How to run? What operators, conditional statements, iterative statements are available? Everything we'll see one by one here. Okay. Now, and then tomorrow we are going to discuss about arrays in JavaScript, objects in JavaScript, and the functions in JavaScript. Once it is done, then we'll move back to our ARA framework. We'll see how to use this in JavaScript code, where to write, how to write. We'll see one by one. Now, let's take some small use cases on JavaScript today. How can we run this? Now, so let's take a small use case. Write a JavaScript program to define two variables of type numerical and assign the values. Perform all the mathematical operations and represent the result on the log file. That means browser log file. And represent the results on the browser log file. You know these concepts here. These are all these things we have done in our Apex programming. Then now we are doing the same thing in our JavaScript also, so that you can feel comfortable with this part. Syntactical wise, 100% same in Apex programming, no change at all. Let me show you with practical as well. Done with this? Now, let's see how can we define the variables, how can we assign the values, how to do the calculations, how to represent the results. Now, let me show you. Now, I'm defining two variables now. Now, tell me how to define. Var keyword. We have to use var keyword. Where I'm giving the variable name as first number and the second number. Now, I'm defining these two variables here. Where first number comma second number. These are the two variables I have defined. Now I would like to assign some values for this variable. First number equals to 4,500. Second number equals to, I'm giving the values of 47. I'm assigning some values for these variables. So these are the two variables that I have defined, with the name first number and the second number by using the keyword var. Var keyword is used to define the variables in JavaScript, and then we can assign the required values for these variables. Then once the variables are available with the required values, then do the required calculations. I want to perform addition so that we can specify first number plus second number. I'm performing the addition. This result I want to store inside a variable here. So I want one more variable. I'm writing result equals to first number plus second number. Can I write like this? No. We can write like this here. But result variable we haven't defined. In this case here, what will happen in this case, that already told you as part of this JavaScript is a loosely coupled programming language. So variable definition is not mandatory. Directly we can use the variable also. Understood the concept over here? You no need to define the variable. In Apex programming, compulsorily define the variable first. Then only we can use. But in JavaScript, variable definition is not mandatory. We can able to directly use that variables also. The two, this statement are also not mandatory here. Directly we can assign the values for these variables. Variable definition is not mandatory here. Now, I would like to represent the result. Console.log addition result is, we can able to represent result. Now, let's save this one. Now we can able to run this. Let me go to the HTML file, open with live server. Go to the inspect console. Now, once the code has been getting prepared, then we can able to save this. We can able to see the result. Addition result is 4547. Variable definition is not required. That's what I told you. Apex is a tightly coupled programming. Compulsorily variable has to define first. But in JavaScript, variable definition is not mandatory. Directly we can use it here. That is advantage that we have in JavaScript. Understood the concept here? But depends upon the programming language, we should be able to remember all these principles. In Apex, define the variables first, then only we can use. In JavaScript, directly you can use the variables. No need of any definitions. Now. Next one. I want to perform some Control S. Yes. Control S. See, in this case, in order to open this browser console first of all, go to your HTML file which you have prepared. Right click on this. Click on open with live server. Open with live server. Automatically browser will be getting opened here. Right click on the browser. Go to that inspect. Select the option console. So from there here, we can go back to your JavaScript file. We can write the code from here itself. After writing this code, whenever we are using Control S, automatically this code will be getting saved. HTML document will run. It will be invoking this JavaScript file. The code will get executed. It will show the result on your browser console automatically. Clear? Feeling comfortable with this one? Now, next, I'm going to be using this second operation. First number minus second number. I'm performing the subtraction. I would like to show the result. Console.log subtraction result is, I would like to represent result. And then I would like to represent the multiplication also over here. Multiplication result also. Result equals to first number into second number. I'm representing this console.log. See, everything is available in the form of IntelliSense. You no need to type everything manually. That will be available in the form of IntelliSense. Now, multiplication result is, I'm indicating result. Division, I'm using first number by second number. Console.log division result is, we can represent result. Modulus, how can we do that? Method.mod is for Apex programming. Come out from Apex programming, come to JavaScript. Percentage symbol, right? Now, first number, percentage, second number. Method.mod is for Apex programming. Now this is JavaScript. Understood the concept? That's what I'm repeating all the fundamental concepts again. Now, console.log. Now I would like to represent remainder value is the result. I'm representing this. Clear? Now we are representing the results of all these operations. Now we have defined two variables, first number and the second number. We have given few values over here, and then we are performing the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the modulus operations. Here, all these operations I'm performing, okay, are these values. Now click on save, Control S. Automatically code will be getting executed over here. Now we can able to see the results inside the debug log file over here. That means in the browser log file. Inside the browser log file, we can able to see all the operations results. Addition result, subtraction result, multiplication, division, and the modulus also. That means remainder value also we can able to see inside this. Clear? Now, little bit changes here. Now tell me in this case, any difficulty in this code? Same like as Apex programming, right? Except this percentage symbol, everything will be same like as Apex programming, nothing different. Okay, that's what I told you. Focus on fundamental concepts of Apex programming. If you're having the good knowledge on Apex programming fundamentals, then JavaScript also same for nothing different. Okay, it's very easy. Clear? Next. Now let's take one more small use case. Write a JavaScript program to calculate the simple interest. You know, there is a straightforward formula is available for simple interest calculation. That is PTR by 100. Principal amount, tenure, and rate of interest. All will be in numerical. We can pass these values, use the formula, do the calculations, represent the result. Write the code for this. Done with the code? Done? Now. Right. Now. So now in this case, let's see how can we do that. Now I'm defining the variables right now where principal amount, rate of interest, and the tenure. I'm assigning the value here. Principal amount, I'm assigning the value some 4,50,000. For example, I'm taking the loan of 4,50,000 rupees. Rate of interest is some 2 rupees interest here. Generally, when you go to the banking systems, they're representing the interest rate in terms of percentages. Like as 12% means 1 rupee interest. 24% of interest means it will be 2 rupees interest. I'm representing directly 2 rupees interest. Now the tenure, that means time in terms of months. Tenure I'm giving like some 36 months. So I'm taking a loan from the bank. So for the 3 years of time with the 2 rupees interest, the loan amount will be 4,50,000 rupees. Now I would like to pay the interest amount here. Now I'm indicating interest amount. Interest amount equals to apply the formula. Principal amount into rate of interest into tenure whole divided by 100. So the whole divided by 100, because we need to apply this end of basis also, because in computer science also it is purely following what most rules. Now we need to show that result here. Console.log interest amount is, I want to represent interest amount. I would like to represent the total amount here. Total outstanding. Total outstanding equals to principal amount plus interest amount, both. Console.var total outstanding is, I would like to represent total outstanding. So now here I'm not only representing the interest amount, I would like to represent what is the total outstanding. That means the actual loan amount plus interest. By end of this loan tenure, how much amount that you're paying to that bank, okay, I'm representing over here. Now here, let me execute this piece of code, use the control S. Now we can see the result over here. Interest amount is 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs 24,000. The loan amount is 4 lakhs 50,000 rupees. Only interest will be 3 lakhs 24,000. Total amount will be, we are paying to the bank 7 lakhs 74,000 rupees. We are paying by end of the loan tenure. Okay, clear? Now HTML is mandatory. JavaScript file. That's it. Done with this. Next. Next one, conditional statements. So now tell me, what do you mean by conditional statement now? What exactly conditional statement, and what conditional statements that we have in JavaScript? Okay, right. Now, then what conditional statements that we have in JavaScript? If condition, switch condition, one more, ternary operator, right. So now, basically, conditional statements are used to add one or more number of user-defined conditions. These are used to add one or more number of user-defined conditions to be get verified before executing the statements. Before executing few piece of code, I want to check some conditions. To validate those conditions, we are adding multiple conditions also with the help of conditional statements. As part of this Apex program, JavaScript, we are having three conditional statements are available. We are having this if conditional statement, we have switch statement, and the ternary operator also here. Okay, now, so now in this case, what exactly is if conditional statement? What are the various formats are available? We'll see one by one here. Okay, now I'm not going to the digging into the concept here, because you know all these concepts here in the Apex programming. If there is any changes are there in that, I will take up that point. I will be giving some more examples on that part. Okay, but I will cover all the functionalities one by one. Now, make note of this one. Conditional statements are used to add one or more user-defined conditions to be get verified before executing the statements. JavaScript provides the below three conditional statements. First one, if condition. Second one, switch statement. Third one, ternary operator. Done with this? Next. Now tell me, what do you mean by if conditional statement now? What are the various of formats that we have in if conditional statement? In Apex programming, we have discussed. Okay. Formats in that. How many formats are there in if condition? Okay. First one, simple if condition. Okay. 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 Nested if condition. Four formats are available. So now basically, if is one of the conditional statement which is used to add one or more user-defined conditions to be get verified before executing the statements. So based on this condition result, it will execute the statements. Whatever the conditions we have specified, if all the conditions are satisfied, it will execute the respective block of statements, or else it will skip the execution of the statements. In that case, we are using the help of if conditional statement. As part of this if conditional statement, JavaScript provides four formats here, same like as your Apex. Now, here also we are having simple if condition, if else condition, else if condition, nested if condition. These are four formats are available as part of your if conditional statement. I will give the syntax of all these four formats. Then I will take up one example. I will be giving that example here because it is 100% similar to your Apex programming. That's what I'm not giving multiple examples here. You know all these concepts. Now, just make a note of this one. It is a conditional statement which can be used to add one or more user-defined conditions to be get validated before executing the statements. If all the specified conditions are satisfied, then it will execute the associated block of statements. Else, it will skip the execution of the statements. Else, it will skip the execution of the statements. JavaScript provides the below four formats of if conditions. First one, simple if condition. The syntax, if we can specify the conditions, we can write the statements. Second one, if else condition. In this case, we can specify the conditions. Write the true block statements. Else, write the false block statements. Then up to this one. Third one, else if condition. What is the syntax? If conditions. Here we can write the statements. Then else if condition. So here we can specify the conditions. We can write the statements. Then else if. We can specify the required conditions again. We can write the statements. Like that, we can write multiple else if conditions, and finally we can specify else block. That means a default block. This is the syntax. Third one. Done with the syntax. Now let's see the next one. The fourth one, nested if condition. The syntax is if we can specify the conditions, we can write the statements. Else, we can write the statements. Here inside this true block, I'm writing one more condition here. If conditions, we can write the statements. Inside this, I would like to write one more if condition. Like that. Inside one if conditional statement, we can write another if conditional statement as well here. So we can able to list up to n number of levels, no limitations at all. Done with this? Now, so let's write a small program on this one. Write an Apex program to calculate, okay, JavaScript program. Okay, write a JavaScript program to calculate the bill amount based on quantity and unit price. And offer the discount based on the bill amount as below. Bill amount and the discount. If the bill amount value is less than 5,000, they will be offering 5% discount. If the bill amount value is between 5,001 to 10,000, they're offering 10% discount. 10,001 to 20,000, 15% discount. 20,001 to 25,000, 20% discount. Greater than 25,000, it will be 30% discount. Now, calculate discount amount and net bill amount. Write the code for this. write the code for this. Now, console.log net bill amount is, I would like to represent net bill amount here. So now in this case, what we are doing, we are defining the variables over here. Okay, unit price, quantity, bill amount, discount amount, and the net bill amount. Now we have assigned the unit price value and the quantity value. Based on the quantity and the unit price, we are calculating the bill amount and we're representing on our browser log file. So once the bill amount has been calculated, based on this bill amount value, we are applying some discounts calculations over here. If the bill amount is less than 5,000, we are offering discount as 5%. And for between 5,000 1 to 10,000, 10% discount. 10,000 1 to 20,000, 15% discount. 20,000 1 to 25,000, 20%. More than amount, they are offering 30% discount over here. Now, so now once the discount has been calculated, we are going to be representing the discount value on my browser log file. Then we can calculate the net bill amount. So where the bill amount minus discount amount. Now let me execute this piece of code. Now we can see the bill amount value will be 37,500 and the discount value is 11,250 because 30% discount we are receiving over here. The net bill amount will be 26,250 rupees. Okay, so depends upon the bill amount value, we can calculate the discounts and we can able to offer the discount also over here. Clear? Not required. So that is not required as part of the requirement. Here we are having only conditions are available here. We are having some ranges of conditions are available here. To validate these ranges of conditions, just we need to go with that. Okay, else if conditions here. Nested if is not required. If you want to check some more conditions inside that, then we can go with nested if conditions. Clear? Now, clear up to this one? Next. The next one, switch statement. What do you mean by this switch statement? How the switch statement syntax will look like? That will be Apex programming syntax. Okay. Now in JavaScript, switch statement syntax is different. Now, so basically, switch statement is used to compare a variable value or an expression value with the multiple branch values. Whenever we are comparing a variable value or an expression value with the multiple branch values, we are using the help of switch statement. Now, upon comparing this variable value, if the variable value is matching with any of the branch value, that corresponding branch statements will be getting executed. Now, so now here in this case, how can we prepare this switch statement? Okay, now let's see. As part of this switch statement, two syntaxes are available over here. What are those two syntaxes that we have? Now let me explain the syntaxes over here. How can we implement? We'll see. Okay, now let's see. Make a note of this one. Switch statement is used to compare a variable or expression value with the multiple branch values. If any of the branch value is matching with the variable, then it will execute the associated branch statements. If all the branch values are not matching with the variable, then it will execute the default block statements. Default block statements. Syntax. Switch of variable name or expression name. Case value 1. Then write the statements. And then use a break statement. Case value 2. Case value n. Break statement. Then we can specify default. Then up to these 3 points. If conditional statement is same, but switch statement is completely different from affix programming to JavaScript. Then how can we use this switch statements? Okay, we'll see in tomorrow's session with the practical. Tomorrow we are having the session as usual at same timings. Okay, now, so tomorrow we'll continue with this switch statement, and then we'll see the iterative statement, and then we'll see the arrays concept and the objects as well in tomorrow's session. Don't miss that arrays part and the objects part and then iterative statements, because there we are going to use the help of for iterative statement. There we are using two syntaxes, normal for and the for off statement as well. Thank you.